If Jesus could only say one thing before disappearing forever, just one teaching to define his entire life, this would be it. And almost nobody understands it the way he meant it. Most people think they do. They really don't. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see Jesus' message in a completely different way. For over 2,000 years, people have debated Christianity. Churches, rules, heaven and hell, right and wrong. But if you strip away all the noise, if you remove tradition, arguments, and religious systems, you're left with one shocking truth. Jesus didn't come to complicate life. He came to simplify it, and he said so himself. One day, a religious expert approached Jesus with a question. Not a friendly question, not curiosity, a test. He asked, "Teacher, which commandment is the greatest of all?" At that time, there were hundreds of religious laws. People argued endlessly about which mattered most. Jesus could have chosen many answers, but he didn't hesitate. He said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." That was it. No debate, no list, no conditions, just love. Now pause for a moment, because this is where most people misunderstand Jesus. When we hear the word love, we think emotion, romance, kind feelings. That's not what Jesus meant. When Jesus spoke about love, he meant a way of living, a choice, a commitment, something you do even when you don't feel like it. Loving God, according to Jesus, wasn't about rituals. It wasn't about looking holy or saying the right words. It was about alignment. Trusting God when life hurts. Choosing truth when lies feel easier. Putting God first, not just on Sundays, but daily. That alone is challenging. But then Jesus added something even harder. Love your neighbor as yourself. Sounds simple, until you realize who your neighbor is. Not just your friends, not just people who respect you, not just people who think like you. Jesus meant everyone, even the people who hurt you, even the people you avoid, even the people you secretly judge. And to make sure no one misunderstood him, Jesus told a story. A man was traveling when he was attacked, beaten, robbed, left half dead on the side of the road. A religious leader walked by, saw him, and kept going. Another religious man came, looked, and walked away. Then a Samaritan arrived. Now this matters because Samaritans were despised. They were outsiders, the wrong people. But this Samaritan stopped. He helped the wounded man, treated his injuries, paid for his care. Then Jesus asked a simple question. Who was the real neighbor? The answer was obvious. The one who showed love. This teaching shattered religious pride. Jesus was saying something dangerous. You can know Scripture, attend services, look holy, and still miss God. Because love, not religion, is the proof of real faith. That's why Jesus later said, "By this everyone will know you are my followers, if you love one another." Not by arguments, not by power, not by appearances, love. And this is exactly why Jesus' teachings still make people uncomfortable today, because love is demanding. It asks, how do you treat people when no one's watching? How do you respond when you're offended? How do you act when kindness costs you something? It's easier to judge than forgive, easier to condemn than understand, easier to feel righteous than be loving. Jesus didn't remove difficulty, he redefined greatness. Think about this. Jesus never said love was easy, he said it was necessary. That's why he told people to love their enemies, pray for those who hurt them, forgive not once but repeatedly. Not because people deserve it, but because love transforms you. This teaching changes how you see everything. Success becomes service. Power becomes humility. Faith becomes action. Love becomes the lens through which life makes sense. And here's the quiet truth most people miss. You don't live this teaching perfectly. No one does. You live it intentionally, one choice at a time. Choosing patience instead of anger. Choosing mercy instead of pride. Choosing compassion instead of ego. That's how lives change. Not suddenly, not loudly, but deeply. Jesus didn't leave us with a complicated formula. He left us with a simple direction. Love God, love people. Everything else flows from that. If this message made you pause, if it challenged the way you see faith, or helped you understand Jesus more clearly, you're not alone. And if you want more honest human conversations like this about Jesus, meaning, and life, you're welcome to stay with us. Not for pressure, not for religion, but for understanding.